Hello friends, so we are going to see how to calculate an area. ये एरिया जो हम कैलकुलेट करेंगे इसके अंदर if you see the length and breadth are the parameter and this parameter will come from a file or basically a input from a user. It won't be the hard coded one. So basically we have to run this input dynamically at the runtime and we have to calculate this area. And this setup is actually needed for a competitive programming stuff. So if you have already participated in code chef, code forces or SPOS, etc., or any interview or have already given any interview, so there would be an option in the online code editor that in which language you are going to write the code. And if you select the JavaScript, I mean node.js, then probably you have to write this system if that online editor code editor is not supporting the user input process. So you have to write this stuff. Okay, so let's see how this works actually. Okay, so basically I have created this function area, which is just taking the length and breadth as an input and returning the area, which is its multiplication. So this is normal. From here, from line 6 to line 39 is what actually needed for the setup. Okay, so this steady in, basically this is the standard input which is available on the process module, and we are calling the resume function of it. It is a readable stream, and if it is already paused or somehow it is paused, then it will resume that. And it is needed before we are telling our program that if you are going to take the input, just ensure that the readable stream is ready. So this is just doing that. UTF-8 is it is basically taking a 2 power 8, which is 256 character. It is supporting, it is allowing that it will be able to read kind of 256 characters of different kind. Okay, and we have taken 3 inputs. One is input, it will contain it will take all the data in the string. This input array will contain an array of array having each line data, and current line is showing the current line number, which is 0 for this case. Currently we have initialized with the 0. So this process.stdin, it will listen for the user data through this on listener. So it will take the data. Whenever data is arrive, it will call this callback function, and in callback function it will pass the data that it has taken from the terminal or through the file system, and it is just appending this input variable that we have collected. So basically it will collect all those input and store in this input variable. Okay, this whenever this process.stdin triggers the end. So end means whenever you type control plus D, then it will assume that you have triggered the end, and if it is reading from a file system, then it will be triggered when the file is end. So there is no content in the file after reading all those lines. So it will be triggering those, and then it will call this callback function again. Here basically we are taking this input data and we are trimming it. So trim, what does it do? It will remove the before and the after of this string, all the spaces, it will remove that, and it will split on this data on the /n, because it will collect all those line numbers data, and then it will map all the string to, after splitting it will remove again the spaces, and if you have given the line number as 4 to 5, so basically it will return you the data as this. So where this is an array of array, obviously it will the split gives an array. So for first split will give you this array 4 5, it will give this array from here, till here. And when you map it, you are again going to say that split in the on the basis of the spaces. So it will return you an array of array, okay, where the first array will contain the first line number, and if there is another data, it will contain another line number, another line data. So I hope this is making sense. Okay, now we are just inputting this input array. I'll show you how the stuff works here uh, through the terminal, but let me just complete the theory. And once it is done, then it will call this main function. So see, you can see that input and input array and current line are the global variables for this file. So this input array will be updated here. It won't be just the string, it will be an array of array when it call this main function. So main function, it will call this read line function. This read line function is basically returning the current line number from this input array. Okay, so if I have given this current line number which is 0, so for this read line, when you call this first time, the first time the current line was 0, so it will return the 0th element of the input array, which is this. Okay, from there we are just taking the length. The first input would be the length, and the another input would be the breadth, and we are calling this area function, and we are just logging the answer. So I hope this is the complete function which should be clear to you. So, and here is this input.txt file. I have created this input.txt file which has 4 and 5 as an input. So let me just run it. Okay, we are just taking this input.txt, and we are passing this data to this area.js file, and we are running it. So if I have logged this input array. Let's see how does it work and what does it print. So you can see this is printing the current the line number, and which was line number was 4 and 5. This is the one line, and it taking all the data from there and storing in an array of an array. Okay, and rate is returning the 20 as the output. Okay, if I change this to 4 to 50, so it should return me 200. Yeah, so it is returning 200. Now you would be thinking this is an string, so how does it returning an integer? Okay, because we are not parsing it. So this is the implicit type conversion, where the string, if you multiply two string, it will, and if they are of the type number, so they will be converted to a number. Okay, so we can also do this here. After we split, we can just make a map and make it we can pass all the input to integer. So now let's see what does it do. It should be giving you an array of array with the 4 and 5 as integer. So you can see this 4 and 50 is now integer type, and there is no need of implicit conversion that JavaScript was doing. So this is all about this video. So I hope you should be aware now that how can you take the input from the user, and you can test the thing locally, and it would be fine. Let me know anything if you have any doubt in the comment section, and if you have not subscribed to this channel, then please do that. I hope I will try to keep more learning videos. Will try to create more learning videos in the future. Thank you so much.